Welcome back to our C++ tutorial series. In this lecture, we will focus on crucial topic for writing robust and error-free program, that is exception handling in C++. Exception handling in C++. When you are writing code, we get error can happen for various reasons like invalid input, file not found, like I write that error like error for invalid input, file not found. Okay, so like there are many reasons. So, or even the next one is network issue as well. In exception handling, provide a way to detect, handle, and recover from these errors gracefully. Okay, by the end of this lecture, you will understand what is meant by exception handling and why they are important. The next one is the syntax and structure of exception and structure of exceptional handling. The third one is type of exception. And the last one is I will give you the real life example as well. Okay. And then in another upcoming video, we will discuss oops and exception handling together to show how these two concepts can work hand in hand to create powerful applications. And we are taking a extra lecture on Sunday for practicing oops and exception handling simultaneously because I did not cover the practice code of oops in the lecture number 7. So we are doing these at the same time. So without wasting our time, let's get started with what is exception handling. That is, what is exception handling. So an exception is an unexpected error. So in simple word, it's a unexpected error, or we can say issue that occur during the execution, that occurs during the program execution or code execution. Okay. So without exception handling, your program may crash or behave unpredictably. With exception handling, you can detect the problem, handle the error, and the last one is ensure your problem continue to, that is continue to run. So let's take a real life example. That is, imagine a ATM machine like this is your ATM machine and here is a keyboard like that. Okay, if you try to withdraw money, like more money than your balance, like some, let's say you have in your account 1,000 and you want to withdraw 12,000 rupees. Okay, the ATMs doesn't shut down. It simply show an error message, ask you to enter a valid amount. That is, ATM shows message, enter valid amount. Okay, this kind of error handling is done through exception. So this is an example of a exception handling. So the next one is syntax of exception handling. So C++ provide three main keywords for exception handling, that is three main keyword for exception handling. The first one is try. It means the block where you place the code that might throw an exception. That is the block where you place the code that might throw an exception. Okay. The second one is catch. I remove this one. That is the block where you handle the exception. That is you handle the exception. And the third one is throw. That is the key to raise an exception. Raise an exception. The simple structure, like the syntax of this is like that. Like if you are writing try, then here is your code. Okay, and in this it's like if else structure like that. Then you write your exception, like what is your exception, then here again your code and done. So this is the syntax of your basic structure. Okay, so moving further, that is type of exception. That is types of exceptions. The first one is standard exception. That is C++ provide a set of built-in exception in the, like I will write that like in this standard expected library, expect library. Okay, like it's already provided. Okay, and it's built-in exception. Okay, this is the library for standard exception, right? Let's take an example that is standard. I will remove this one. Yeah, so standard out of range, that is when you access an array index out of bound, that is index out of bound. Again take another example that is standard invalid argument, that is when an invalid argument is passed to an function, that is when it pass to a, or you can say pass to a function. So this is the example of a standard exception. After running the code, we get the output that its error division by 0 is not allowed. So let's another one, that is custom exception. Second one is custom exception. Sometime you might want to create your own exception for specific situation. Okay, like you can make your own exception handling. The real world example is that is library management system. You might throw a book not available exception if a requested book is not available, right? So for this, I write the code for this one as well, so you can check this one. Just a second. Move to your editor. So yeah, this is the code of a custom exception. When you run the code, you get the error. The requested book is not available. Okay. So the next one is stack unwinding and multiple catch box blocks. So let's go. That is stack winding and multiple catch box, or you can say blocks. When an exception is through, the program look for a match, that is catch block. If no match is found, the program move up the call stack and then destroying local object along the way. This is called stack winding. That is, I write that one. That is stack winding. When an exception is thrown, the program looks for a matching catch block. Okay. If no match is found, the program move up the catch, move up the call stack. If no found, not found, then move up to call stack and destroying local objects. Okay, this is meant by stack unwinding. Oh, sorry, it's not winding, it's unwinding. Okay, and the second one is like, just a second, that is multiple catch box blocks. When you can have multiple catch blocks to handle different type of exception, that is multiple catch blocks to handle multiple types of exception. Okay, so I write this code as, so yeah, this is the code of a multiple catch blocks. So when you run, you get the output, that is integer exception costing. Okay, right now moving further to the benefits of exception handling. I did this one portion, that is benefits of EH, that is exception handling. Okay, and the next question is, why is exception handling important as well? So the first answer is, it separate error handling code from main logic, making your code cleaner. Like separate error handling and make code cleaner. Second one is, it helps in robust creating robust and fault tolerant program. The third one is, ensure proper resources cleanup and program stability. That is program stability. So let's take a real life scenario, or we can say real life example with exception handling. Okay, so wait a second. Real life example. That is first one is we are taking example of file handling. If a file can't be opened, okay, so throw an exception and handle it. If file can't be open, throw an exception and handle it. The second one is banking system. Banking system. Throw an exception, throw an exception if a withdraw amount exceed the account balance. And the last and the third one is input validation. That is valid user input. Valid user input and throw exception for invalid data. Throw exception for invalid data. Okay, so that's all about exception handling in C++. So what you learned today is the basic of exception, how to use try, catch and throw, then try types of exception, that's standard and custom. Then we are taking a real life example where exception handling is used. In the next lecture, we will combine OOPS and exception handling to create a robust application that showcase how their two powerful concepts work together. So, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. So, see you in the next video. And one more point is that we are taking more practice problem and examples on OOPS and exception handling. Okay, so stay tuned and happy learning.